Alright, hello everybody, hello. Hope you're all having a good day. I'm going to be doing just a quick video to showcase a couple new things with my account, along with answering a question about what to get when the store resets on Mondays. More bang for your buck options, and if you don't have all the resources, just what you should kind of prioritize. So first things first, my account is almost 4.1 million. We did get over 4 million a couple days ago, and we're going to keep swiftly moving towards 5 million. Mosquito Girl is my first character over 1 million BP, and she is been really buffed to the teeth, I'd say. Been kind of upgrading her gears a little more so, and I was able to get the buff gear that increases her bonus damage with basic attacks. Really strong for her. But that aside, let's get right on into the store. So starting with Tournament, if you play it every day, you should have enough resources, and you shouldn't really have an issue buying the only thing I really recommend. The rest is personal preference, and it could depend on your own account. Let's start at the top left. So notes, I would just never get this. I mean, you get enough notes just by playing and doing your daily training. I wouldn't get that. Talent chest, if you're really trying to like push a character's talents, I guess you can. I've definitely gotten the blue one before, but only for a little bit when I was trying to like speed level a character and get them up. Otherwise, like every week I don't buy it. Every week I do buy the sigil chests here. I think they're good to just straight up get level 3 sigils, and with the amount of resources you get compared to how much it costs, it's pretty fair. Subterranean King, if you're building him for some reason, go ahead, but I wouldn't buy it personally. The figurine bases, really long time ago I was getting these here and there just to try and bump my BP faster, but now we get platinum bases and things. The gold one is just not that useful. And finally, the one I would question is if you really are struggling for research materials, you can get these, and I would get them here, not in club, and you'll see why. Just because usually you'll have some leftover resources, but even still, I don't per se recommend it unless you're really burning through these for some reason. But yeah, the one thing I would really just get is kind of the sigil chest. The rest is depending on how you feel week to week. Genetic, you should also have a ton of materials from the Institute of Genetics, especially if you're trying to progress and getting yourself further. That way you get more resources per day. The demon badges, I wouldn't really go for them. I have quite a few of them personally, but I don't think it's necessary unless you're really just overflowing in resources and want to get something and have someone that you really want the badge for specifically. Skill books, I would get skill books every time the shop resets. We're always going to need skill books and always going to need to go further and further, and it's going to cost more and more to get our skill levels up. So I would always get those. Ascension cards, must. Every week when these reset, always get the Ascension cards. You should honestly have more than enough resources if you're far enough in your Institute of Genetics and playing it all the time to get these 3 things. The rest you can kind of skip. If you really feel like you need these Ascension materials in the beginning, I guess you can get them if you're overflowing, but even still, these are going to slowly build up over time. I wouldn't choose them. The Keepsake XP card is kind of the same thing. You're going to build these up over time. You're eventually going to cap out on how far you can actually go on your Keepsake levels compared to your account level. So I wouldn't really focus anything other than these main 3, and this is just bad. I wouldn't get this. Club is where you might actually struggle for resources depending on how much you're able to play, how much you're able to donate shard wise. Those are some factors that could change how much you're able to get. Every week, same thing. I get the skill books for High Tech and Grappler. Vaccine Man is pretty good, and I've gotten a couple of his shards before, but unless you're really focusing him for some reason, you don't need his shards through here, but you can get them if you have extra. The A-class badge is kind of the same as the demon badge. If for some reason you need it, or you have a character that really wants it and you want to get the badge, go ahead and use your resources, but that's a personal choice. The exclusive badge XP, the exact same for the Keepsake XP. You're going to build it up over time. You can only go so far with it. The research materials are also here, but I feel like the club materials are a little more scarce than the tournament materials, so that's why I recommend to buy them here in tournament, not in club. But still, same thing applies. If you really are burning through them and you need them, go ahead. Last thing I have been getting still is the basic skill books, but probably when I get around 4,000 to 5,000 in reserve, I'm gonna stop getting these. But I've usually been having enough club resources to buy these. And last but not least, we have Arena. Tank Top Master is a good unit. If you're free to play and you need him, or you're slowly trying to build him, you can get some of his shards. You do get plenty of arena resources, especially if you're in Diamond Arena and you're, towards the top 20, 30, you probably get enough arena badges. Lightning Max, I wouldn't personally go for it. If someone really likes him, you can. Battle Records, I also would not per se go for, unless you really want them for some reason. I think using sweeps is really all I've been doing, so I don't even do the like auto fighting anymore. The 4 things I would completely recommend, and then I'll give my opinion on this, is I would always get the badge chest. I think it's good for limit breaking. It's good for getting your figurines up, stuff like that. So I get the badge chest every time. Superb recruits help me eventually get Melzerguard. I think these are good to get. It's not too expensive either. The Ascension supply vouchers and the part supply vouchers. I like building both of these up for whenever we have those raid up pools for Ascension cards, things like that. The Omni chest. If you're really overflowing and you would like the Omni chest, go ahead and grab it. I have been getting the Omni chest so that I can turn the villain Omnis into Mosquito Girl shards, red Mosquito Girl shards. I want to get her pink 5 as soon as possible, so I have been buying this every week for the last little bit. But if you're not really trying to hard push someone up, which to be fair, most people should be trying to push their Mosquito Girl up. Otherwise, I would say you can probably skip it, but it is pretty good. But these are the 4 that I would definitely buy, I would say. Normal item shop. I don't think I've bought anything in here for a while. When I had a free-to-play account for a while, I was getting, if any Amai or Beast King shards would show up, I would get those if I had extra gold, but that's about all I got. I don't think I ever got qualifications or medals, XP, none of that. Books I don't think are really worth it. You're going to need your gold for skill points more than you're going to need it for these. But yeah, anything that you wouldn't otherwise get, like I would just save the resources for if they eventually update these stores with better materials. But I would just get those couple things that we pointed out. Mainly focus on the skill books, Ascension cards. Sigil chest is good. And then whatever else you feel is necessary for your account. Remember, there's no end all be all. It's what you think is good. But I do think those are the most bang for your buck, and you don't just buy everything in the store. And the last one we got is the Peak Arena store. Peak Arena store is really simple in my opinion. Just get the Ascension cards. If you're playing the Peak Arena and you have tried to level up even a little bit, you probably get more than enough points for just the Ascension cards at least. It's 4,000 a week. You should have plenty. The only other thing I have been getting, because I'm really trying to push my Mosquito Girl to P5 as fast as possible, is these disc chests. I have been struggling on the blue discs. It's soon to be the purple discs that I'm going to struggle on, but I've been getting blue discs wherever I can. But yeah, other than Ascension cards, I would really just save, because if I'm not mistaken, at level 90, we will unlock the orange buff gear shards, and that will be worth buying every week to really get your buff gears up. Purple buff gear shards aren't bad if you're really overflowing in Peak Arena points, but I would just save for the orange ones at level 90. That's about it for the stores, I would say. The last thing I wanted to touch on is I do think in our cross server, I was the first person to go ahead and hit Gyoro. He is a little bit tougher to deal with. He has crow enemies that he fights alongside, and his ult can actually kill in this. Granted, I am pretty young as an account, I think, fighting him, so it's a little bit harder, but I've been just using Genos to kind of blow up his backline. If you guys really want, I can try and make a video on the resist invasion bosses, but I think they're pretty self-explanatory for the most part. You just need your setups to kind of put the burns and corrosions on them, and then your big damage by the end. The only recommendation I have with Gyoro is kind of adding a AoE damage dealer to help you get rid of these crows. And for me, that was Genos, but that's about it. Other than that, like I said at the beginning, our goal is still going to be to get the 5 million BP next, and maybe get Genos up to 1 million next. But he's been pretty steady where he's at. I increase his HP where I can, but mostly everything lately is going into Red Mosquito Girl. That's about all I got for today. I'm going to be trying to get some more videos out. I had a couple ideas thrown at me by some friends of what they think could be useful videos for different game modes and things that could just help out everyone as a whole. So I'll try and get those out as soon as I can. But thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. It does help me out, and I appreciate it very much. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, and look forward to, like I said, those other videos I'm coming out with in the future. But that's about all I got. I hope you all have a good day, and good luck playing One Punch Man. Bye now.